Okay, cool. Thank you for your patience. My name's Emma Snedden. Welcome to tonight's call. I am going to talk to you a little bit tonight about our business opportunity, about the product opportunity, but I'm also then going to be joined by two or three of the girls in the team who are going to share their experience of taking the product and of being on the business. We're specifically on this call, so we do versions of this call pretty much every night of the week or during the day as well. There's lots of different ones that you can get on with different slants. So, for example, last night we had a call for our Eastern European business. Fridays we do a call for people who are really into like fitness or fitness professionals. We have a health and beauty call, we have a mum's call, etc., etc. So there's lots of different calls. This one, particularly, is the slant is really around people who are very busy or who are like I was back in 2013, firmly in the I don't have time camp. That was absolutely me, right? And I'm sure it's probably a lot of people. To be honest, I've been doing this now for 8 years, 8 years this month, and it's still the number one thing that people say to me. Oh, I haven't got time for that, or I've got a lot on, etc., etc. So I understand if that's how you feel or that's what you've been saying, because I totally get it. I said no to this opportunity for about 8 months. My friend kept saying to me, oh, you know, you'd be really good at this, you should take a look at it. And I was like, no, not for me. I haven't got time for that. I've got a full-time job. I've got 3 kids. You've got to be. I actually thought he was off his rocker. I said, are you actually insane offering this to me? Like, I am the busiest person on planet Earth. There's no way that I've got time to run a business. I was working 100 hours a week in a corporate job, which was incredibly, obviously, time consuming, but also very stressful. I loved a lot of the stuff about that job. I was very ambitious, always have been, wanted to be at the top of that profession, wanted the big corner office and all of that stuff. Worked really hard at uni and everything to get a good job, all of that stuff, like Sims, everybody. And but then I had a family, and all of a sudden, you know, what was really cool and exciting in my 20s and early 30s suddenly wasn't quite so cool and exciting anymore, because everybody had different expectations. I had different expectations of myself. My children needed more of my time. My husband was working really long hours in his job as well. And suddenly the balance of our life just got a little bit skewed. And I think that's incredibly common. It certainly is something that I come across all the time. But I wasn't unhappy. You know, I had a good job, nice car, nice house, all that kind of stuff, decent money in the bank. Didn't stay in the bank very long, let me tell you, but it was in the bank for a period of time. And I wasn't looking for another job, wasn't looking for extra money or anything like that, but I was a little bit dissatisfied. And I would really encourage you to sort of have a think about what you've got going on in your life. And if you don't do anything different, whether it's this or you know, anything else with your life, if you don't do anything different, if you don't make some decisions or do something differently, does anything in your life actually get any better at any point? Does it get any different? Do you have more time freedom? Will you have more money? Will you be able to spend more time with your kids next year than you did last year? Will you be able to, you know, go on that? Well, I mean, COVID aside, obviously, because that's kind of going to have a say about everything. But under normal circumstances, would you be able to go on, you know, a holiday next year if you couldn't last year? Would you be able to just do the stuff, you know, say, be a yes person? And I certainly know when I first started looking at this opportunity, when I finally stopped saying no all the time and said, okay, I'll take a look at it, probably just to shut him up, really. I was definitely at that stage in my life where I thought, you know, I like my job and I'm happy in a lot of respects. And everybody else I knew, by the way, and you might find this too, was in the same position. That everybody I knew was working, everybody I knew was time poor, everybody I knew had loads of stuff going on, everybody was busy, blah, blah, blah. So I was no different to anybody else. But I just didn't see how I could fit this into like another thing into my life, because I thought it was going to be something that was going to be in addition to or on top of the workload that I already had in terms of my family life and my business life, you know, whether at that time I was in an employment situation. So anyway, I started taking the product, and actually that was the first kind of pivotal change in my mindset about the whole thing. Was I started to take the products first. So I was a happy customer at the beginning. I'm still a happy customer now, by the way, 8 years later. But right at the start, before I joined the business or anything, I started to take the products as a customer. And that was January 2013. Because of my busy life, probably like a lot of you guys, I didn't eat breakfast. I used to skip breakfast all the time. I'd maybe grab like a coffee running out the door to work, or maybe a bagel from the canteen if I ever got into the office, that kind of thing. I was on the road a lot because I had a sales job, and I was always kind of, you know, on the M6 going from Manchester to somewhere, either north or south on the M6, grabbing something at services, all that kind of stuff. And if you don't fuel your body properly for the kind of, you know, life that you've got, busy working lives or whatever, then you get tired, you get run down, you get coughs and colds when they're going around, your weight can be really fluctuate up and down. I definitely found I was stressed quite a lot. I was grumpy, but snappy with the kids, that kind of stuff. Again, everybody else was the same, right? But that all stopped when I started taking Juice Plus, which is definitely my experience of it. Like, everybody's experience of taking the product is a little bit different because all of our bodies are different, right? And our body's needs are a little bit different. But I know for sure across the board, when you fuel your body better or fuel your body properly from the start of the day to the end of the day, everything else goes better as a result. Because when you feel good, when you've got more energy, when your skin is good, when you like what you see in the mirror, things like that, when you're sleeping well, when you're getting up before your alarm clock, when you feel like good like that, how much better does all the other stuff go? Your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your opinion about yourself, your self-confidence, tons and tons of knock-on effects of actually fueling your body properly with the right nutrition. And so I started to take this product first, the Complete Shakes. I absolutely, I was exactly the same, Shafina, snoozing. Mike used to think I had narcolepsy because it was just falling asleep all the time. In the car, I would just fall asleep if I wasn't driving. Like if I sat down on the sofa at all, I would fall asleep while the kids were watching a TV program or whatever. But that all stopped as well. So I started to take this first, fell in love with it. I just used to take one every single day for breakfast, a minute to make and a minute to drink. Totally simple, easy, simple, affordable, effective, like it ticked all the boxes, tasty as well, did exactly what I needed it to do, which was to start my day really well. So absolutely fell in love with this product. It's so versatile. You know, you can use it as a smoothie, you can use it as a shake, you can use it as a pancake. We often have family pancakes using them. You can have like flapjacks and all sorts of things, right? Predominantly people tend to use them to make a shake because it's quick and easy. But if you have got a little bit more time and you've got time to make a little pancake or whatever, then definitely I would incorporate these into your diet. To answer your question, iPhone, as of yet, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist or anything like that. I'm just telling you my own experience of using these products. I've yet to come across anybody who can't use them. That's all I do know in 8 years, right? So if you've got epilepsy, I guess it depends on what medication you're on, but it's just food, right? They're not a medical product. They're not a drug or it's literally just food. It's all vegan, plant-based protein, and I'm pretty sure that it would be absolutely fine. But you can definitely, we have a group called Product Transformation Group. If you get whoever added you on the call, and this is for everybody to add you into that group, you can have a little look around in there, or they can search the group for you and get a few relevant stories. But you'll definitely, there's like 57,000 people in that group or something. And there's always everybody, whatever condition or complaint or whatever somebody has, there's always somebody else in there that's talking about that as well. But as I said, in 8 years, I've not come across anybody, and I've got a global business in like 40 countries around the world, and you know, thousands and thousands of customers and queries, and I've never had anybody that couldn't use them yet. Okay, so started to take the shakes, fell in love with them, lost a bit of weight that I wanted to lose. A lot of people use the product as for weight loss or weight management, I prefer to call it, because we all have different body desires. And I always say to people, you know, they're like, oh, I want to lose a stone. And I say, like, well, if you lose a stone and you look exactly the same, will you be happy? No, the answer is always no. Like, well, so it's not a stone you want to lose, it's your body shape you want to change, right? Which is a big difference. And people get so hung up on what that number on the bathroom floor, even though your body shape could look different, your clothes look different on you. If the number on the bathroom floor doesn't reflect what you want it to, oh, we're terrible, aren't we, for that? Oh God, it's not working, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so just be careful about wanting to lose weight. We actually want to look different. We want to like what we see in the mirror. And whoever you decide to join, if you decide to join the business and take the products, you'll definitely find that you become more aware of your overall health. And that's what we are. We are a health company using health products. So absolutely fell in love with them. We're sleeping better, eating better, looking better, everything, right? And then I started to take these. I just realized that one of these pictures is hanging, being kept up here by my Juice Plus. So I'm worried that when I take them down, it's going to fall. We're okay. I thought I was going to get hit on the head by a picture there. Right, so I started to take these as well, which are the fruit and veg capsules. So they're fruit, veg and berries in a capsule. And that's literally what it is. So as I was saying to you before they did ask the question, it is fruit and vegetables in a capsule, or fruit and vegan plant protein in a shake. Okay, so they look like this. And my light is a bit funny, but hopefully you can see okay. So they look like this, which is like a little capsule. It's basically, you can go onto YouTube and you can Google how Juice Plus is made. There's a YouTube link that shows you exactly how it's made. But in a nutshell, it's not made in a nutshell, but briefly, it is the plants are like picked when they're ripe. The fruit and veg is picked when it's ripe. It's juiced, the water is removed, and then it's encapsulated. That's it. So it's literally just fruit and vegetables and berries in capsule format. So there's 30 different fruit and veg in those. Take 2 of them every day before I get on with my day. 2 fruit, 2 veg, 2 berries. And I also use this product, which I know a lot of you guys do, which is the vegan omega product. And there's 5 omegas in that. Now, I obviously can't speak for everybody, so it would do me a big favor if you take these products and you've felt a benefit, just quickly, you know, it doesn't have to be War and Peace, but quickly in the chat, just pop in a couple of like benefits that you felt from either taking the shakes or using the capsules or any of our other products. These are the vegan omegas. So you probably know the benefits of omegas, things like skin, hair, nails, memory, fogginess, brain fog, you know, that walking into a room and wondering what on earth you came in for. Sometimes that's child related, I think, and stress related, but it's also general brain fog, menopause symptoms, things like that. All of these plus the capsules really good for inflammation, etc. Anyway, so started to take all of those. I literally recommend them to everybody. If the business isn't for you, that's fine, but the products are for everybody. I fundamentally believe that. I take them, my husband takes them, my children get the product for free. There's a chewable version, which is, it comes in a little bag like this, which is the same fruit and vegetables in a chewable format for little kids. My kids actually take the capsules now because they're a little bit older. And there's also an energy drink, which is here, which is an app. So this one's all squished up because it's been in my handbag. I wouldn't go out without it. This is an energy drink. You literally just mix it with water, and my God, does it give you your day back. If you are one of those tired mums, maybe from time to time you're like getting up in the night, or if you love going to the gym, or you like exercising, or you ever just have that mid-afternoon slump, for example, these are just a godsend. Like, you definitely need those in your cupboard. And then the other product that I'm a huge fan of, oh my God, this picture is hilarious. Is this booster. Now the boosters are, this one I always say takes away tiredness, the uplift, and the boosters take away hunger. So basically you mix both of them up, mix that one with water, and you just neck it back and it stops you feeling hungry, which means that you eat less when you do eat. And then the uplift, you just mix with water and drink it if you ever need a little bit of extra energy. So if you don't want to feel tired or hungry, we are the place to come to, right? And if you want better health, you'll get it through Juice Plus. If you want to sleep better, eat better, look better, feel better, and generally have better health all the time, not just today, not just tomorrow, but all the time, these products are something you absolutely need in your cupboard. Now, that's why I joined the business, right? Back in 2013, because I loved the products anyway. I was talking about them to everybody, because we do, don't we? Have you got like a shop that you use, or a hairdresser that you go to, or a book that you've read, or a film that you've seen that you just can't stop talking about? Like at the minute, everybody's banging on about, is it Bridgerton or something on Netflix, and then before that it was like Game of Thrones, and then it was Crown or whatever. Like Netflix is a great example of how people. They don't have to advertise anything, do they? Because we all do it for them. I'm watching this. What shall I watch? What's everybody watching at the minute? We all advertise Netflix all the time on our social media. We advertise accidentally or on purpose. We advertise tons and tons of things. We talk about things. We share things. I definitely don't ever get paid for it. I'm always recommending books that I've read. I'm literally surrounded by books that I love, and I'm always talking to my friends and my team members about books that I read and that they should read. And 9 times out of 10, someone while I'm talking will go, I've just jumped onto Amazon and ordered it. I never get paid anything from Amazon for all those recommendations. Juice Plus pay you for that. That's the difference. So you recommend the products to people. I'll take the product first. I would recommend that you take the product. You don't have to, by the way. So if you're sat there thinking, oh, well, I haven't even started taking the product yet. Loads of people, probably some of the people you hear from in a minute, take the product and join the team at the same time. So you can actually do that. And I actually think that's quite a cool thing to do as well, because you're actually building a business while you're gaining the benefits of the product at the same time. And that's when we're at our most evangelical about something, when we first start taking it. But anyway, so take the products, feel the benefit, and you'll feel hundreds of different things you could possibly feel, from energy to everything that I've already talked about. And then you just share that with other people, online and offline. That's the business model. That's what it is. Whether you choose to do that with 2 people, 20 people, 200 people, 2,000 people. Online, I would say it's incredibly easy to share it with hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, right? Super duper easy. And if you want to make more than just a few hundred, £3,000 a month, if you want to like sort of make, maybe get like a full-time income from this, all you need to do on top of that, if you want to, is build a team of people. So you join the business, which you're going to do, feel the benefits of that, which you will, and tell other people about it, which you will, online and offline. Somebody joins the business with you because of your recommendation, and they get a customer, they get paid for that customer, and so do you. It makes total sense. When John explained it to me, I was like, well, that's easy enough. I'm recommending it anyway. He's like, exactly. You're already doing it. You're just not getting paid for it. I was sending all these people to him. I've got Julie wants to buy it. Mary wants to buy it. Jane wants to try it. Emma wants to try it. All these people that wanted to buy the product because I was talking about how fabulous I felt. So it's £50 to get involved. Anybody can do this. You just literally, you can build an entire business from your mobile phone. Now, before I bring on the girls to share their stories, I just want to really quickly explain to you how the business works. So as I said, it's word of mouth marketing. You take the product, you feel the benefits, and you share that with other people. When somebody buys the product, because of your recommendation, you don't have to do any stock holding, any deliveries. You're not buying the product and selling it on or going to the post office or any of that. There is none of that involved, which is exactly the reason that I said yes. Right? Because I was still saying no at this point. I'm like, yeah, oh, that sounds amazing. I'm still not doing it. I'm not doing it. I haven't got time. Because I thought I was going to have to, you know, buy product, bring it to the house, separate it all out into bags for my 20 customers or whatever, and then drive around to people's houses, dropping it off, or go to the post. Forget it. Like, that was not, if that had been what I had to do, I would never have got started, and I certainly would never have had the level of success that I've had, because I just wouldn't have had, no, Shafina wouldn't have done it either. I wouldn't have had time to do it. I still wouldn't have had time to do it. And so that wouldn't happen. And we're actually, none of that is in our business. You don't do any of that. Everything is done for you from your mobile phone. You literally don't even have to leave the house. You don't even have to leave your bed if you don't want to. You can do this from the kitchen. You can do it in the living room. You can do it from your bedroom. You can do it while you're watching the kids swimming. You can do it while you're waiting for them to come out of school. Anywhere and everywhere you can build your business from your mobile phone, because once you've spoken to the customer or someone's decided to order the product, you pop the order through online on your phone, on your office that you get given by the company, and they do everything else. Everything else. Take the order, process the order, take the money from the customer, get the product, package it up, put it in, give it to DHL. DHL deliver it direct to the customer's door. That's it. All you do then is you make sure the customer got what they ordered and that they know how to use it, and make sure that we're a very, very customer centric company. We're all about the end consumer, all about like a happy juice customer, Juice Plus customer getting great results is what we all want. It's our absolute focus. So when you've got a happy customer, you'll feel good and you'll get paid for it. It's as simple as that. And joining the team is so simple to do. Like I said, it's £50 to join. And when you bring people into the business, you can learn at the same time as them. When I was learning what to do, I was bringing people into the team and going, do you know what? I don't actually know what I'm doing just yet, but it's fun and it's exciting, and let's all learn together, right? And it was so easy to do it all together. So don't think, oh, you don't need any special skill set. You don't need to go on any training course. Do you know why? Because you're already doing it in your life. The skill set you've got right now, just for surviving at the moment, quite frankly, is all you need. Thumbs, mobile phone, bit of ambition, bit of being able to connect and speak to people. It really is as simple as that. So rather than listen to me prattle on for any longer, let me bring on a couple of the girls to share their stories, and then you'll be able to hear a little bit about how they're doing this business around their busy lives, how have they fitted in. And then I'll come on at the end just to close. But what I will say is that this started for me as a bit of a hobby around my full-time job. So I totally fitted it in. I was doing 100 hours a week over here in my business life, my career, and I did this in the nooks and crannies of the day alongside it. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, chatting to people anyway. On my mobile, I was always on social media anyway when I got 5 or 10 minutes here and there. So I just started to use that time more productively. So 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and my income I joined in January. By October, I was matching my full-time income in my 15-year career. So this had taken me 15 years. This took me 10 months. So I was still working full-time. I hadn't stopped anything here. Then I carried on building. And by the end of 2013, start of 2014, I was earning twice as much a month part-time doing this as I was in my full-time career. This hadn't moved, by the way, right? Sometimes that used to go up maybe £1,000 a year or something like that, right? So this business was paying me twice as much for doing a few hours a day as this one was doing 100 hours a week. So at that point, at the end of 2013, I just decided I didn't need this one anymore. So I totally started off looking to earn £200 a month. I earned £500 in my first month, never earned any less than that since. I earned just over £1,000 in my second month, 8 years ago in March. And I've never earned any less than that since either. And that's not because I'm absolutely fantastic at it. It's just because it's simple and easy to do, and I just decided to go for it. So I left my full-time job, and since the start of 2014, I have never needed to work again. And I've kept that level of income and actually increased it as well from this business, doing it from home around my family. It's completely transformed our lives. My kids do not remember when I used to go out to work. I retired my husband from his full-time job as well, so he doesn't have to work anymore either. He retrained as a personal trainer, and obviously the way things are at the minute, he had to close his business in March and he hasn't been able to open it again. So if I didn't have this, I don't know where we would be. But that's an inconvenience for him, but it has zero financial implications on us whatsoever because this business is so solid. So let me just bring on a couple of the girls. I'm going to ask Sarah to speak first if I can see you. Yes, I can.
Hey.
Oh, my darling. So tell us a little bit about what this business is doing for you and why do you recommend it, especially like for busy people, because you were doing this full time as well, alongside a full-time job for a while as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Hi, everyone. So my name's Sarah. I've been doing this now for 5 years. So originally started, as Anna said, around my full-time job. I've got a little girl, husband, running house, everything else that you have to do in life. So it just slotted in really easy around my full-time job. So I'd just do a little bit in the morning before work, perhaps answer a few messages throughout the day, and then I just do it in the evening. So I basically just gave up playing Candy Crush in the evening, which I was a really sad big addict, and just did that while I was watching telly. So I just started doing this instead, and I was able to make up like a nice income around my job, which was incredible. So we always lived a bit beyond our means, so we never had a lot of money at the end of the month. So this just gave us income like each month to be able to go out for meals, go on days out, and just treat ourselves. If we went to the shops, we could just go and buy ourselves something nice if we wanted to. So I carried on doing that, got a nice income all along, and then COVID's come along. I got put on furlough, which was incredible. So just had loads of fun with Olivia, just doing my business around her and like sitting in the garden basically. And I was earning actually more than I did in my full-time job, which was incredible. And then I hit a couple of promotions, so got some nice bonuses as well. And I was given then notice of being made redundant. So on the day I actually went in to be made redundant, I've just like half an hour before I just hit the figures I needed to get my next promotion. So I was going to get a bonus of 1,800 on top of my commission as well, which was more than my full-time job. So I was really actually quite excited to be made redundant, because doing that just meant that I was able to be at home for Olivia. Like, we need my wage for our house to run. So the fact that I can do this, like especially now, like I've not got the stress of like trying to work at home and have Olivia here and trying to keep her occupied in homeschool and everything else. Like, I can just fit this in now when she's in bed or like in the nooks and crannies still of the day, because I'm trying to occupy her and do the homeschooling. So for me, it's like took such pressure off me, and it's just incredible.
I bet you often think at the minute, like, how on earth would I be coping if I had to work as well? I think that all the time at the moment.
Definitely. I'm like so grateful for it. It's just incredible. It's made a huge difference at the minute.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm going to move over and go on to Catherine, who is joining us. I think it might be the first time Catherine has spoken on this call, which is exciting. Let me just get you unmuted.
Hey.
Hello, my darling. So, different situation for you a little bit, but I'd love it if you could share a little bit of your story. What is this business doing for you? You've got crazy busy life as well. How do you fit it in?
Yeah, so you're quite right. It's the first time I've spoken on this call, because I never thought I'd kind of fitted into the bracket of a busy person, because I started the business 5 years ago, and actually when I started it, I wasn't that busy because I dropped my hours at work and was just doing 1 day a week, and I'd got a little girl at home, then had more babies, and so was on maternity. So again, still wasn't that busy, except obviously the babies were keeping me relatively busy. So I've now got 3 at home. One is a 6-year-old who, of course, should be at school, isn't at school. Another, a 2-year-old who should have started at nursery in January, didn't start in nursery, which is why I've jumped on this call tonight, because I'm now absolutely mad busy. So it sort of dawned on me this morning that actually, if I was approached with this business, I would give the same response that many people watching this probably give, is that there's no way I can do that. I'm too busy. I'm trying to homeschool my kids. I'm trying to keep the house. I'm trying to look after my husband. I'm trying to look after babies. That is the response I would give. And then I'm like, well, hang on, but that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm doing all of that, but I am also running a business. And I do that because I do it 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. While they were having their lunch earlier, I was replying to messages and popping on things on Facebook and things while they were eating their lunch, because I had a shake for mine. Because actually, even if I wasn't doing this business, I still wouldn't have time for anything other than a shake, because of course, you know, kids, they start eating and then they want something else, then they want something else. And I tried to have like scrambled egg the other day and it went stone cold. So I've gone back to just having a shake for my lunch.
Yeah,
exactly, because I was just like, this just is not working, you know. And one day I didn't even have a chance to make a shake, so I think I'm going to have to order the bars myself. But so I just kind of realized that actually, you know, it's mad busy, but I'm building my business and my business is growing month on month. You know, I've just I've hit a promotion, obviously, like, you know, back in November, and I'm about to reconfirm that this month, so I'll get my £1,000 bonus, which
amazing.
is absolutely bonkers. You know, in November someone said to me like, oh well, are you sure you want to go for it, because, you know, December's a bit quiet. And actually I was like, no, I can do this, and I have, just by doing it 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. The only sacrifice that I've made ever in this business really is giving up the soaps. Well, the soaps went off air, didn't they, anyway, last year? Yes. because they couldn't even be filmed, you know. Yeah, I still watch things on Netflix. I still do have a bit of downtime, but I just plan that downtime. And actually at the minute, you know, where I can't work during the day as much because I'm trying to homeschool in another language as well, by the way. For those that don't know, I'm in Wales, and I'm in North Wales, where primary languages in schools, primary schools, is Welsh. I don't speak a word of Welsh. So that just adds to my busy day, is because I'm trying to get translations from people at the same time as trying to homeschool. So yeah, so you can absolutely, anybody can do this business. It's just about that planning your time and prioritizing, you know. And like I said, most of mine, I block it out in the evenings. You know, my evenings are blocked out to work, and otherwise it's, you know, while the kettle's boiling, you can send a few messages, you know. It just, it does fits in perfectly.
Thank you, Kathleen. And the thing is, we're not saying it's dead easy, right? We're not saying that we all just skate through life like zero stress ever. But I was stressed out of my brains when I was working, like absolutely stressed out of my brains when I was driving here and there, and they were my kids were in nursery from 7 till 7. That was like a long ass day for a kid to be out of the home in a different environment. And then I would pick them up and they were tired and I was tired, and then I still had to work in the evenings and constantly rushing, constantly stressing. I was that mum that was like, come on, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, come on, all the time, get in the bath, like trying to get them into bed. And that stresses me out just remembering it. I don't have any of that in my life now, like none of it. It's literally the before school is chilled, after school is chilled. I do this business around them instead of them doing their business, like them having to live their life around my schedule. So it definitely is
and that's the thing, is
worth it.
That's what I'm more grateful about, is that I did manage to quit that job, because I was due back at work on the 29th of December. So I'd have gone back to work, and I would have had to have been working now 1 day a week. And the kids always know when you've got to work as well. So when I did work 1 day a week before, Emily was always a nightmare the night before, and she was always horrible for me the day after, where I'd like, you know, she saw it as like an abandonment, I think, the day I'd worked. So this time now would have been 10 times more stressful had I not had this business before and been able to quit.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you found it and it's working well for you and everything, and just onwards and upwards. And trust me, as the kids get a little bit older, all that gets a bit easier as well. So this will just get easier and easier. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Let me just move on now. Interestingly, it moves us really nicely on to Lorraine, because you're also still working full time as well. And I wanted to really highlight the fact that we call it work, we work at night or work in the evening or whatever, but I know you always say it doesn't feel like work. And that's when I was working full time like you are, this never ever felt like something I had to do. I never felt like at the end of the day, oh God, I've got to like get on that call, I've got to message those people. This was always like my treat to myself at the end of a hard day. Was like, oh, I can't wait to get back involved in my business. So can you tell us a little bit more about like that, and how are you doing this around, because you're now working at home full time and with the kids as well, so how are you juggling everything?
First of all, I'm not juggling the noise of the television very well, so I do apologise, but it's keeping them out of this room, so we'll let it go just now. So yeah, I am in that stressful job. I am envious sometimes when I hear you talk about not doing this anymore.
It's good for you.
Oh no, so yeah, I do my 35 hours over 4 days from home. And I have been home working since March, obviously since life changed. The girls are twins, so they are 6 now. And my husband's night shift, just like Catherine's saying, don't have a minute, keep my own house, unfortunately, all these things. So it's just, again, but it's a business, I would say, for busy people. I have not given anything up. You know, we can't just not clean a house. We can't not take care of children, you know. So I have not had to give anything up, which is perfect for me. I fit in, I got up a bit earlier in the morning, which I like that time just to have a bit of quiet anyway and do some stuff for me. Quick nosy at lunchtime because I don't get a long lunch. And this time of night when they calmed a bit, from tea time onwards, like Catherine said, here and there, fitting it in. And that's what I've always said to you, it doesn't feel like work. So I don't finish, you know, 5:15 and go, oh God, I need to do this just plus stuff. You know, it's not like that. I find it fun. I love to meet new people. I love to chat with people. And it's exciting as well. And you don't always get that in your day job. Stress maybe, not exciting. So yeah, not giving anything else up. And what I would say as well, Emma, that others haven't mentioned tonight, which we normally do, is the sense of community right now is a big, big thing. Maybe not so much at the beginning, you maybe weren't craving that so much, but it can be quite isolating just now, no matter what your circumstances. And I would say that the communities come really up there for me. You're never far from adult company, no kids for a minute, whether it's, you know, with your customers, with us as a team. The sense of community is just, you know, you get so much more than what you think you're going to get with this. And for anybody thinking about it, if you're in the fortunate position, you get £50, it has been so worth it for me. It's, yeah, love it.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. I totally agree with you. Actually, it's I was talking to somebody the other day, just another girl that's in the business, actually in a different team, and I said, if it wasn't for this, it would have been about probably 10 months since I've spoken to anybody who doesn't have the same surname as me. Like, I literally just, my husband and my children are the only people that I've seen pretty much almost exclusively for the best part of 10 months. And but I get to hang out with you guys every day. We have as many Zoom calls as you want. You're never more that we're on WhatsApp all the time if you want to be. But the key to this is, it's if you want to be. You might not want that. You might like to be on your own. And if I don't want to do a call, I won't do a call. If I don't want to get on a Zoom, I won't get on a Zoom. If I don't want to answer a WhatsApp, I couldn't do that in my other job. If I had to be at work, I had to be at work. With this, it's totally choice. You get paid for what you do. When you get paid for what you don't do. So it's totally amazing the amount of times this has helped me as well, Shafina, in terms of just especially in the last 12 months, the sense of community is really, because the money's great, but if you've just got yourself to, you know, to hang out with, it, you can have all the money in the world. If you're lonely, it's not so much fun. And this business is definitely, for a lot of people, stopped people feeling lonely recently. So long may that continue. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I'll just wrap it up now, because we've kind of gone a little bit over time, but I just wanted to sort of say, look, it's 50, what the girls are touching on, it's £50 to get involved. It's tons of fun. You can earn anything from a few £100 a month right through to, pick a number really, like 5 figures a month is not uncommon in this business. There are lots and lots of people all over the world earning 10 grand or more every single month in this business. Is that going to happen straight away? No, it takes a little bit of time. You've got to build it and you've got to work at it, but it's not work. And I definitely would never have been able to create the income every month that I've got now in, you know, 3, 4, 5 years in my previous career. So my question for you is this, right? If you're looking at this, if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, and what happens if this happens, and like, instead of thinking what happens if I do it, what happens if you don't do it? If you don't get involved, if you decide not to do anything, if you decide not to get healthier, not to take the product, not to join the business, not to get a second income, what happens then? Probably nothing, right? Probably nothing will change. Things will just stay as they are. So for things to change, we've got to change. We've got to do something differently. And it's not a big risk. It's no risk, actually. It's £50 to get involved, €60 or equivalent of a bit of a night out or whatever, which frankly we can't do anything. We can't do it at the minute anyway, right? You might as well invest what you would have spent on Friday night or Saturday night. And it's a good question to ask yourselves. If you don't do it, what happens? Well, nothing. Somebody else will do it, right? And I promise you, I definitely had loads of misconceptions and preconceived ideas and all that. This is some things that look too good to be true, but just aren't. They're just real. They just are what they seem to be. And this is just exactly what it seems to be. We're all normal people with normal backgrounds and normal jobs and normal lives, just doing something that's maybe a little bit extraordinary, a little bit, it's not quite as unusual as it was when I started it. I think it's a bit more common to have an online business now, but there's 6.3 billion people in the world online. 6.3 billion people on social media. think it makes sense to have a business that gets paid from social media? It does to me. By the way, it doesn't all have to be online. You're talking to people anyway, right? You've got a phone, you're chatting to people, you've got friends, you've got family. There's all sorts of different ways to connect with people, but you don't have to go door to door at all. Right, that's it from me. Thank you so much to all our speakers. If you are interested in getting involved, why would you not be? But if you're interested in getting involved, go back to the person who invited you on the call tonight and just say, I'm in. If you've got any more questions, ask the questions and then say I'm in, but you will not regret it. It's the best decision I ever made back in 2013. 8 years in the business. Don't tell them, but I would still do it even if I didn't get paid for it. The fact is I get paid really, really well for it, and it's completely changed our whole life, and it'll change yours too if you let it. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and to all our speakers. See you all really, really soon. Bye for now. Bye.